That night, curiosity got the better of her. She stayed late under the pretense of finishing reports, watching from her glass office as Tom clocked out and stepped into the pouring rain without even an umbrella. Something tugged at her. Maybe it was exhaustion, maybe intuition, but she grabbed her coat and decided to follow him. Tom took a long route through narrow streets, his figure small under the flickering streetlights. Rebecca followed from a distance, her car creeping behind as the city's glow faded into quieter, rougher neighborhoods. Finally, he stopped in front of an old, abandoned warehouse. The paint was peeling, windows cracked, but light glowed faintly from inside. Rebecca parked and stepped out quietly, peering through a broken pane. What she saw made her heart twist. Inside, Tom had transformed the empty warehouse into a makeshift shelter. Blankets lined the floor. A few small tables were set up with food, soup, bread, bottles of water. Children laughed quietly as their mothers huddled together, grateful for warmth. And at the center of it all was Tom, serving food, smiling, kneeling beside a little boy with a toy car. It was midnight. The janitor who mopped her company's floors by day was running a secret charity for the homeless by night. Rebecca stood frozen. She had attended countless charity galas, donated large sums to organizations for publicity, but this was different. There were no cameras, no logos, no speeches. Just a man with tired hands and a heart too big for his paycheck. The next morning, she called Tom into her office. He looked nervous, clutching his cap. "Ma'am, did I do something wrong?" he asked softly. Rebecca smiled gently. "No, Tom. I just wanted to ask, why do you do it? You work so hard already." He hesitated. Then, in a voice so humble it broke her heart, he said, "Mom, I used to live there. Lost everything when my wife got sick. Spent nights under bridges, eating from trash bins. Then one stranger gave me a blanket and said, 'Pass it on when you can.' When I finally got this job, I swore I'd never forget what it felt like to be invisible. So, every night, I try to be the person I needed back then." Rebecca's eyes burned with tears. She realized that all her success, her billion-dollar empire, meant nothing compared to what this man did with nothing but kindness and purpose. That weekend, she followed him again. But this time, she didn't hide. She walked into the warehouse, carrying bags of supplies and food. The children looked up at her in awe, and Tom nearly dropped the ladle from his hand. "Ma'am, you came," she smiled. "No, Tom, I joined." From that night forward, Rebecca became his silent partner. She funded the repairs, bought beds, heaters, and clean water systems. But she never took credit. She insisted Tom remain the face, the soul of it. The two of them, an unlikely pair, a CEO and a janitor, changed hundreds of lives quietly, without the world knowing. Months later, during the company's annual meeting, Rebecca took the stage to announce a new initiative, Project Second Chance. The crowd applauded politely, unaware of its origin. But as she spoke, she invited Tom onto the stage. He froze, embarrassed, unsure what to do. Rebecca held his hand and said into the microphone, "This man taught me what leadership truly means. Not power, not wealth, but compassion. He showed me that sometimes the strongest leaders wear work boots, not suits." The entire room stood in silence, then erupted in applause. Tom's eyes glistened. He wasn't used to attention, but in that moment, the world saw him, not as a janitor, but as a hero. Later that night, Rebecca visited the warehouse again. The once broken building was now a fully functional community center, filled with laughter, hope, and the smell of home-cooked food. Tom stood at the doorway, looking at the neon sign that read, "The Midnight Haven," founded by Tom Reyes.